What up, tribe? Welcome back to another edition of Rob Hunter TV. I appreciate you so much for joining me once again. We are in the beginning stages of building this thing. So each and every view, each and every share, each and every like from me to you, I just want to say thank you. You could be looking at any other video in the world right now on any other platform, but you are here with me. And with no further ado, we're going to get this show started. I have 3 different topics today. Okay. We're going to pivot to music real quick, and then we're going to transition into sports. And then I have a small message, for my tribe out there. If you don't mind me sharing, I've been getting some questions lately about, me starting this and how that process has been going. And so I want to share that with y'all. But first up, as I was doing my stream the other day on TikTok. I was doing my stream the other day on TikTok, and it was as some of you may already know, we've been talking a lot about Drake and Kendrick and just the fallout and things of that nature. And very spirited, a very get this mic right. A very spirited conversation. But in the middle of the stream, while I was on TikTok, a young lady asked me, had I heard the new diss record that Clipse did on Travis Scott? And I said, no, I hadn't heard the new diss record with Clipse and Travis Scott, or about Travis Scott. I hadn't heard it. I had not heard that record. And it just some things have just and no offense to Clipse per se. I'm not trying to piss any Clipse fans off, but over the past couple of days, I think that I inadvertently have. I never disliked Clipse at all. In fact, I thought they were okay. I like grinding like everybody else. And what happened to that boy, I like those records just like everybody else. But outside of that, they were just kind of there. They were non-threatening. They were non-offensive. There weren't some crazy movement. It was just Clipse, which was fine. They really love to talk about selling drugs. But Pusha T, and specifically with the rollout of this album, he just seemed really angry and mad at everybody. And I was starting to feel like, is this guy a one-trick pony? And I know Malice is in the group. I understand that. But the truth be told, I didn't even know who the other guy was. I didn't even know they was brothers. I didn't know the dude's name was Malice. I didn't know they was brothers. I just knew it was just Pusha T. And then the other guy is just really quiet. Anyway, point is, he just started to feel like more like a one-trick pony. And I'm going to give him 2 tricks if I'm being generous. I'll give him 2. The first trick is it was cool, but he seemed like the beef, that trick, once he ran into Drake and they had their little thing, he just seemed like, I'm going to play this. I'm going to really see how far this takes me. And so the beef trick, that's his one trick, because the cocaine raps didn't really do as good as the diss raps, particularly about Drake. And he just seemed to really lean into that part of the rollout. He seemed to, I don't like Kanye. I don't like Travis Scott. I don't like everybody. And I still don't like Drake. Okay. Hey, I can only take so much black and mild energy. Just too much all the time. Plus, you've been gone forever. How you going to come back that mad? But it seems to me like, and this actually makes some sense, that he leans into that so hard because of the clout that he got and the notoriety. Because for the first time, not Clipse, but Pusha T was a part of the hip hop conversation in any real substantial way. And I think obviously Drake had to respond for that to happen. But I think once he got a taste of that kind of clout, that's something that he didn't want to let go. And to be honest with you, that's what all these guys are looking for. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, anybody rapping for the most part, Travis Scott, they're looking for clout and or popularity or whatever word you want to use. That's why they're doing it. The only problem is that, at least for me, you can like angry, black and mild energy rap. If that appeals to your energy, I ain't mad at that. For me, I can only take so much of it. And since Drake and Kendrick consumed all of it in this last year, I just don't have any room for anybody else to be dissed. I need a break. And so what I realized though, with inside of that, I got into another conversation a little bit on Threads, and someone said something about the Clipse being some top group, and I'm like, the Clipse aren't a top group. Clipse with those 2 records, and maybe they have another one that I'm not naming, but with those 2 records outside of the beef, the Clipse are a little bit more than a footnote in hip hop history. They aren't some significant, like, these people are out here behaving like they like Wu-Tang or Outkast or Tribe Called Quest or somebody. The Clipse, They aren't on that level. Like, and people, they act like they're NWA or somebody. Clipse, if it wasn't for the story of Adidon and the beef with Drake, they like a little bit better than Field Mob. Like a little bit better than Do or Die. Just a little bit better. They're not, these people out here, y'all are acting like they run DMC. Like the Clipse and then their drug raps. Your passion for the group does not equate to proof or facts. Just because you like something a whole lot, it doesn't shift the weight and what their contribution was to the greater landscape of hip hop. So just because you like something a whole lot, like I like The Golden Child a lot with Eddie Murphy. That script is a piece of shit. I like the movie a whole lot, but I also realize it's kind of not that great of a movie. Okay, it's like the Ajante Dagger and Eddie's fighting the devil and going to Tibet. That sucks. But Eddie was so good, he made it great. So I understand what I like may not necessarily be that great. And I think that what happens with hip hop fans is their lack of emotional intelligence has them framing their arguments as if how they feel, like how they feel is the truth. But that may not be how the rest of the world sees them. That's all I'm trying to say. That's it. So enjoy your Clipse album. Enjoy Let God Sort Them Out. I hope that it's everything you ever wanted it to be. Lots of cocaine raps and lots of angry disses and lots of Black Air Force One energy. So Clipse, Pusha T and Malice. I hope this is the best album of your life. See, I'm one of them people. I'm one of them people. Just because I feel a certain way does not mean I don't want y'all to shine and do your thing. In fact, I want your music to be the best I've ever heard. Why wouldn't I want to go to my DSP and turn your album on and it blow my head off? Like, it's not like I want your music to be ancillary to my world. I want it to be important. I want it to be great. I want it to be the best stuff. I want it to be better than Billie Jean. That's it. That's all I have to say. So that is my Clipse. My Clipse take. I hope I didn't upset you guys anymore. But anyway, moving on. So I ended up, what's going on? Hold on, shawty. Oh, there we go. So I was recently, hold on, let me get my stuff together. So recently, as of this year, I have really taken a liking to the really women's basketball at the college and the WNBA level, at the pro level. More than I have ever in my life. Really enjoy watching these girls play. Love watching South Carolina. I love the brand of ball they play. Don Staley. The college basketball, Malaysia Fulwiley. These girls, man, they can really play the game. But I made a slight observation. And I don't want to offend anybody about the WNBA. I don't. Okay, I am not trying to offend anyone with women's basketball, but you guys are this close. You're this close to breaking through. And I just have one small, itty bitty little teeny tiny little small little ditty infinitesimal, okay, suggestion. Just a small suggestion. I'm fairly certain it's going to get this game over the hump. It's going to get y'all games for being played at noon and 3 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm sorry, noon and 3 o'clock. It's going to get y'all off that whack ass schedule of being like y'all play at noon and 3. I didn't even know that. Like, I'm out here getting alerts on my phone because I set the alerts because I love the games. That it's tip off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, what is that? Like, who's going to be able to watch that game? It's going to take your game. Similar to when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, when they came into the league and that took the NBA off tape delay, this going to move y'all game to prime. This right here, my suggestion, going to move y'all game to prime time. I promise you, your viewership is going to skyrocket. Like, where did they go? And remember now, I'm just here to help. I am just here to help. I am a fan of your game, but you got to lower the rim. You got to lower the rim. You got 9 feet. You got to lower the rim. I'm sorry. I know you didn't want to hear it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend nobody. Hey, I'm here to get along. I'm here to build my tribe. I'm here trying to get people to watch, not be mad at me. But I got to call it how I see it. Okay, 9 feet. I know the integrity of the game, and I know it equal and all that. But look at here. Okay, but look at here. Effie White had to take a back seat. Okay, this business. Okay, Dina Jones had to go ahead and take them girls to the next level. All right, this is real life Florence Ballard, Diana Ross. Okay, Florence Ballard, hey, get your ass to the back. Diana Ross, come on up. Diana Ross is the 9-foot rim. Okay, Florence Ballard is the 10-foot rim. Okay, we can't have that. Personally, I think y'all can pass the men's game. The women, they already play harder than the men. The men do play hard when it comes to get to the playoffs, but they make so much money, and they've been friends, and they go into the same AAU camps, and they play on the same AAU teams, because now the shoe money, these guys are flying all over the place. They rank, they at the same camps, like they know each other, so the anger isn't there. And these guys are rich now when they get to college, so it's not as much to fight for. But the girls, okay, they still fighting for that last piece of cornbread, because winning in their league still means visibility, because there's not a lot of they're still not drawing the viewership that some of the men's games draw. Okay, but rest assured, if you like how I was back in the day, these girls are fighting for every loose ball. They boxing out for every rebound. They scrapping, they're diving on the floor. That they're playing the game. And they got more edge. Then we got to have some dunking going on. Okay, this is a business. Okay, hopefully y'all ain't too far gone to see that. Y'all want equal pay. Well, we got to have equal viewership. Can you imagine Angel Reese dunking on Caitlin Clark and having and getting an and one? I mean, come on, man. Like, you guys already have the foundation to pass the men. You have a thriving college basketball game. The men do not have that. So for 4 years, we get a chance to watch a Paige Bucher, a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and now we get a chance to see Flage and the rest of the Juju Watkins. We get a chance to see the rest of these girls out here play and have narratives and storylines build. Okay, we're getting their game is getting a chance to develop, and the storylines are getting a chance to develop. And us as fans, as people who love competition, okay, we're getting a treat, because by the time they get to the NBA, we already know who they are. Okay, we already know who they are. And the proof is in the actual damn pudding. Okay, Cooper Flag, the number 1 pick in the NBA. Okay, I think he played 30. He played. Cooper Flag played 37 games. And guess how many followers he got? 1.5. Flage got 2 million followers, and she ain't even done with her senior year yet. That should not happen. You have a female college basketball player who has surpassed the number 1 overall pick in social media following. And that's where the game is right now. That's where a lot of the fans are. They're on social media. Angel Reese got 5 million followers. She got more than Tyrese Halliburton. So these people, we're following these ladies. We're following the game. But that 10-foot rim, okay, that's a ceiling. That's a literal and a figurative ceiling. The irony is we have to lower the rim to raise the roof on the money. We got the tough play. Okay, we got great ball movement, but we ain't got nobody banging on each other. That 9-foot rim, hey, these girls start dunking on each other and pushing and shoving and scuffling and stuff. And more of us watching the game, more fellas watching the game, gonna equal more money for y'all. Okay, I hope you ain't take it the wrong way. I ain't mean to offend. Okay, I might be on the road here with my Clipse taken. Then everybody may have pissed everybody off at this point, but I'm just simply saying, don't even think about it. Okay, y'all out here experimenting with a 4-point shot in an all-star game. If you really want to turn up, bring it to 9 feet. I'm starting the initiative right here, right now, today. Okay, the Rob Hunter initiative to get the WNBA to lower their rim, okay, to 9 feet to bring the money up. This is out of love. This is not because I don't think y'all can play, because I know you can. This is not a reflection of how hard y'all play. This is pure entertainment value. And if you got a smaller ball and you're shooting from closer in for 3-point range, it would only stand to reason that the rim will be lower. Okay, these little scraper dunks y'all be having, man, that ain't hitting on nothing. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna get off my high horse on that, or my low horse, whichever one you want to call it. And I wanted to end today. I'm gonna switch my background back to Basquiat. I wanted to end the day. I have been asked some people asked me some questions as I started back doing this. Hopping back on social media, starting to post again. One of my friends asked me, he had a channel going and he hasn't been on it like he used to. And he asked me, he said, Rob, how do you get past the anxiety of posting? Because every time he sits down to do something and then press upload, he was like, the anxiety is crippling. And my response was, you don't get past it. I feel anxiety right now as I'm recording this, but I have to decide if my anxiety was going to be bigger than my purpose and just push through it. That was the deciding factor, because what I knew was if I keep doing the same thing, keep putting in the same factors daily, putting the same factors inside of my daily equation, I was going to keep getting the same answer. And so what I felt like I knew was if I do something different, even if it's not great, but even if I'm directionally correct as opposed to 100% correct, being directionally correct is better than hesitating or being stagnant, right? And so that was the thing that pushed me past and made me start uploading again. I had to really, there was a couple of videos I looked at, I sent to him, but a lot of prayer. But that was the thing that I had to decide whether or not my anxiety was going to win. I wanted to see what would happen if I tried. Like, what would happen if I bet on myself? I knew if I kept putting the same factors in, not putting out content, I knew that I was guaranteed to have the same result. And so if I put something new inside of the equation, like effort, like just posting something, even if I put out something bad, I think one of the greatest tricks that, so I wasn't going to put this bit in the piece, but I am now. And I'll say that, you know, when you're thinking about putting content out there and you start to look at everybody else's content, and sometimes that can give you confidence, because sometimes you can be like, oh, you know, I'm funnier than him, or, you know, I can sing better, or whatever the thing is you want to do, whatever the thing, it doesn't have to be content. It could be whatever it is. But oftentimes the reality is that you're not even competing against the most talented, the most qualified, the most handsome, the most deserving. You're competing against just people who aren't as afraid as you. They're not the most talented. They're not the best looking. They don't deserve the part. They don't deserve the promotion. But you don't have to deserve the thing and still do the action and still get the result and still get the desired outcome. So all of this, like in your head, thinking that it has to be this perfect, or it's got to look like this, or I want to wait till I get, you know, this type of car. I want to wait till I'm making this kind of money to ask this girl out, or I want to wait until I get this type of camera or this type of setup. That's all a lie. And the longer you wait, the more other undeserved, the more other people who may not be as qualified or good looking or as funny or whatever it is as you, they're going to be getting your money, your spot, their attention, that girl, that date, that job, that part that you're supposed to go for. And so understanding that the action threshold is just lower for those people that are having the success. That is the difference. And I think one of the greatest tricks, okay, if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in the devil, this part ain't for you. You can stop the tape right now. This is for those that are strictly believers. One of the greatest tricks that the devil has pulled on us is self-doubt. Oftentimes we rebrand self-doubt as being realistic or self-preservation, but that's all a lie. That's all a lie. That little whisper that gets you to not ask that girl out, to not go for the promotion, to not go for the part, to not start that business, to not upload that piece of content. Those are all lies from the pit of the devil's stomach. We were created to actually create. We come from the master creator. Okay. So it's in our DNA to actually create. And so whatever that version inside of you that you see of yourself, that 10 version, like whatever, when you see yourself in the flow, in the perfect light, that is actually the truest version of yourself. Not at 9.9. At 10. And the difference between that 10th of a point is the difference between greatness and the breakthrough and not. If you're turning yourself down, if you're turning down the volume of your hopes, if you're turning down the volume of your confidence, if you're turning down the volume and you amplify your limiting beliefs, that's what the devil wants you to do. You're supposed to be you on 10, and understanding that it's going to take work, understanding that becoming the 10 is not the easiest space to be in, but it is your calling. So whatever it is that you have inside of you that you see yourself accomplishing, like at the best, or whatever that yearning is, that's it. That's what you're supposed to be. You have to be crazy enough to believe that something special can happen for you. I believe that God moves commiserate to the size of your faith. Small faith, small movement from God. Big faith, big movement from God. Steve Jobs changed the way the world moves. The internet being in your doggone pocket is crazy. The plane. You trying to tell me that I can only stay in the air for about half a second, but a 10-ton plane, or however much they weigh, can stay in the air for 8 hours at a time? That's crazy. But your ideas are only crazy until they work. And then they become innovation. And then they become a way of life. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to know that however you came across my voice today, you have to understand that this was meant to be. I believe in you, and I believe in the possibility of what you can be. It's why I made the video. And remember, the crazier your idea and the more you believe in it, the closer you are to making your own, to cutting out your own slice of history, and more importantly, pleasing yourself, changing your day to day. So I just wanted to share that little bit with you. If you got something out of this video, feel free to share it. If you feel like someone else needs to hear it, please feel free to share it. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for just listening this long, and know that I'm here. I'm trying to get to a set schedule, so I apologize for that. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. This is actually the first time I've actually shot this kind of content, but this message has been on my heart. So I just want to say thank you guys for listening. And yeah, that's it.